Kadosh Boker Or, Parashat Beshalach ben Ishchai. Says, Oziel zimrat Yah, vayhi li lishua. נראה לבסייעתא דשמיא. דידוע על ידי קריאת שמע ותפילה, אנחנו ממשיכים לשכינה אורות המוחין, שהם כתר חוכמה ובינה. We know that through קריאת שמע and תפילה, we're going to bring from the to the Shekhinah different lights. Remember, these are all different like energies from the 10 sefirot, but these are the sefirot of כתר חוכמה and בינה. Yeah? הרמוזים באות למד, which is hinted in the letter למד, שכל אחת כלולה esre, shehem lamed shel tevat li. Right, when it says vahi li Yeshua, remember yod is 10 and the lamed, right, is the chokhmah, keter chokhmah ubina. Okay, וגם ממשיכים לשכינה אורות 5 חסדים ו5 גבורות מן הדעת. It's also going to bring down 5 חסדים and 5 גבורות, right, חסד and גבורה from the da'at, הרמוזים באות יוד דתיבת לי, וזהו שאמן. That's why it says Ozi is קריאת שמע, שהיא תורה שבכתב, שנקראת עוז. The Torah שבכתב, the written Torah, is called עוז. וזמרת יah, what is זמרת יah? תפילת עמידה, which comes after the קריאת שמע. So עוזי וזמרת יah, which means the קריאת שמע and the עמידה, they are going to be for me a Yeshua, but they're going to bring down all these lights to the Shekhinah, to the energies to the Shekhinah. Okay, וזה ויהי לי, that's what it means, ויהי לי סוד אותיות לי, שם אורות, כוכב, which is כתר חוכמה בינה. Torot HaChasadim VaGvurot, Lishua, is going to be Lishua, right? Mispar LaShekhinah, which is the Shekhinah. Ki Yeshua Mispar LaShekhinah Imakolel, because basically it has the same numerical value. Right? Lishua and LaShekhinah is the same numerical value Imakolel. Hine Yadua, Ki Arba'im Tikunei Shekhinah. We know that there's 4 ways of fixing the Shekhinah. Shehem Nikraim Mita V'Kishulchan V'Kiseh Menorah, which is basically the bed, the table, the kiseh, the chair, and the menorah. And the light. This is a seder. Betfilat arvit, metaknim sod hamita. So in the arvit we fix the bed. Psuket zimra b'shachrit is a shulchan, is a table. V'yotzer u'kriyat shema is a kiseh. Betfilat amida metaknim sod hamenorah. It's a menorah. Okay, וזהו כוונן מכוונים אותה אפילו בני אדם פשוטים. So this is the ממש בני אדם פשוטים. This is, you know, what you have to have כוונות. יש עושים נשימה בסידור שלהם לכל ארבעה תיקונים נזכרים, לכל אחד במקומו. Every single person in its place. כי ראשי תיבות השם שפתיי עולה מספר מנורה. Meaning, השם שפתיי תפתח, ויגיד תהילתך, take the aleph of השם. sin of שפתיי. תפתח, תף, right? זה ראשי תיבות. אבל השם שפתיי, right, is shin aleph. Correct or not? השם שפתיי is shin aleph. Shin aleph is 301. What is the numerical value of menorah? 250, 290, 296, 301. So Hashem Sefatai, Hashem, right? Sefatai, which is Aleph Shin, it's 301, is the same numerical value as Menorah. Loma lilmo shebetfilah zu metakel menorah. So that's why you're going to fix a menorah through this tefillah. Now that we just finished speaking about Parashat Beshalach, that we just spoke about the concept of Kriyat Shema and Amida, now we're going to start Hilchot of Amida. Kodem sheyatchil betfilat Amida. Says Halacha Aleph the Ben Ishchai. Before you're going to start the Tfilat Amida, when you're going to say Gal Yisrael, you're going to touch the Tfilin Shalosh. Why? Ki Tfilin Shalosh hu ba'atzilut. It's the highest level, and the Tfilah is also ba'atzilut. Remember that there's 4 worlds, right? Asiyah, Yitzirat, Asiyah, Bi'ah, Asiyah, Bria, Yitzirah, and Atzilut, right? That's Bia, right? So therefore, what happens is that a person has to just understand that here we're talking about that since it's going to be both of them in Atzilut, also the Tfilin Shalosh and also the Amida, you're going to touch that Tfilin Shalosh. Yoshomrim, and some people say, Shagam Besiyum, also when you finish the Amida, you say, Mvarech Tamoyza Shalom, Mashpesh Tfilin Shalosh, right? Mekavachim Siman Tetvav, Ot, Bet. I've never seen it, but that's what he says. Venireli, Tanohek Kach, Lui Mashpesh Lachar Yuler Tzon. Don't do it after Mvarech Tamoyza Shalom, but do it only after Yuler Tzon, Ki Pasuk Ze Kulo, right? Miklal Tfilah. The entire Pasuk of Yuler Tzon, the first Yuler Tzon, is still part of Amida. Because you have to always have your hands together. Here, remember, I always explain it to you like this, like an Eved in front of his master. So don't pick up your hands. Meaning, if you're supposed to have your hands like this entire Amidah, and in the middle of the Amidah, what do you mean middle? Towards the end, but you're still in the middle, you're going to do this, you already did something wrong. So finish a Yuler Ratzon. After you finish a Yuler Ratzon, which is the last pasuk, right, of the Amidah, even before the Elokai Nitzor. But so then you could come and you could put your hand up to kiss. Okay? כשאומר להתפלל יכוון רגליו להיות שווים ודבוקים זו עם זו ביושר כדי להידמות למלאכים. Right? Remember that when you're going to start Amida, you put your feet together, right? They're all straight into one to be compared to the malachim. דכתיבו certain רגליהם רגלי ישרה. That's like 1 foot. Yeah, ועוד יש טעמים אחרים בזה. There's also other reasons as well. מנהג הספרדים כשעומדים להתפלל תפילת עמידה קודם לתפילה מהפכים פניהם קצת לאחוריהם. They turn backwards a little bit.
מה זה מהפכים?
מהפכים, they turn. להפוך. They turn their face a little bit backwards. They'll seem תנועה בידיהם לאנשים העומדים מאחוריהם מצדיהם, כאילו that they're asking like permission. Right? So he says, but in תפילת מנחה נרביד, you don't do this.
מלאכים אתה מבקש רשות, לא?
No, so here you're doing it for the people. והטעם בזה, גם כן לדמו, it's like the מלאכים. Which means that just like the מלאכים דרכם יום מקבלים מלכות שם מזה מזה ונותנים בשביל זה לזה להורות על האחווה, על האחדות והאחווה שביניהם, כלומר כולנו כאחד אנחנו מסכימים במחשבה אחת ודעה אחת לקבל מלכות שמיים. וזה ייתן ותאמר כאילו סוף שכתוב מלכות שהוא נעשה בתוך האחווה. So therefore כאילו we turn around, we ask כאילו permission. Yeah, we're going to start or whatever it is, we start coming and we turn around. ולדוגמה זו מנהג הספרדים הנזכר. והגאון מוהר"ן שפירא עשה טעם למנהג זה על פי הסוד, וכליסה, and he appraised it. ולפי טעם שלו, but according to his reasoning, אפילו אם אין אדם אחד, so even if there's nobody there, you should still do it. Meaning, you could only do it if there's somebody behind you, or somebody on the side. If there's nobody there, you're by yourself, you're not going to do this. But according to the reasoning of the Maran Shapira, you would still do it even though nobody is going to be there. הלכה ג' אם עמל להתפלל במקום שהוא יושב בו. If you're sitting down and then you're going to get up and you're going to pray where you just sat. You have to go back 3 steps. And then you go back to your place. But if you're far away, go there first. Go take 3 steps back and then you go back to your place. You always go back 3 steps. So basically there was a 3 when by Mamad Sinai Parashat Yitro next week they came back 3 meal and then they came back. You understand, meaning that they went backwards 3 meal and then they came forwards. But you see it many times. You see people, they come and they're going to start Amida. So if I'm standing up, for sure I stand up 3 steps back, 3 steps forward. What happens if I'm over there and I want to say Amida by the wall? So some people, they'll come towards the wall, they'll take 3 steps forward and they'll start Amida, but they didn't take 3 steps back because they kilu took 3 steps forward. So he's saying here that no, what they're supposed to do is you're supposed to stop where you're going to say the Amida, take 3 steps back, and then 3 steps forward. And the reason why is because to remember the concept of the Ma'amad Sinai. Halakha Daled. The one that's saying tefillah always has to pay attention to the Pirush Hamilot, to the explanation of the words that you're coming out of your mouth. You should always remember that Shekhinah is right in front of you. Person should get rid of all the bad thoughts or any type of thoughts that he has in his hand. So you're only thinking about the tefillah. That tefillah he bimkom korban. Because remember, the tefillah is a korban, right? Tefillah was instead of the korbanot. Now remember, when you bring a korban and you had a bad thought, right, that you wanted to do it at a different time, you had all these different thoughts, it's going to be posel. Now a person shouldn't think, you know what, I prayed so well today, for sure Hashem's going to answer me. Why? Because that's called the yun tefillah, and then his sins are reminded, right, or remembered, and therefore it's going to be a problem for him. But rather you should think, maybe Hashem will listen to me because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is all merciful, He's such kind. So according to the Rizal, you should always have in mind, Hashem, we know that we're not fitting to pray in front of you, but we're relying upon your Rachamecha Rabim, your all bountiful mercy, and all your plentiful chesed, that you want to do so much good, that's why just like I said, Hashem is good to everybody and He has mercy on everybody. You were the one that commanded us to pray. You are our God, we are your servants, and our eyes are depending upon you, just like the eyes of a servant to the eyes of their master. Wow, this is a beautiful thing of the Rizal HaKadosh. Yeah, everybody should do this. Okay. Halakha hey. המתפלל צריך לכוון בכל הברכות. A person that's praying should have כוונה on all the ברכות. ואם אחר עמל וטורח והשתדלות רב, אני יכול לכוון בכולם, if you can have כוונה on all of them, at least minimum you should have כוונה לכוון באבות. שהיא ברכה ראשונה, which is the first one. ואף אגב, the מן הדין, not even though the מן הדין. If you didn't have כוונה in אבות, and you say חובה וצריך לחזור, you have to go back. Yeah? So he says, you have to go back. Okay? Here it says in the footnote, actually, it brings down that if you did not finish Baruch Hashem Magen Avraham, you should go back to the beginning. Elokei Avotenu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov with Kavanah. Meaning, imagine a person started the Amida, he didn't finish the Magen Avraham. He Melech Chozeh Moshe Magen, Kavanah no. You should go back, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, without Baruch Hashem. Without Baruch Hashem.
Not even Baruch bli Shem Hashem.
Yeah, without, just Elokei Avotenu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then you continue going like that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what he says over here. And if you did finish with Baruch Hashem Magen Avraham, you should do the entire first beracha, right, in your mind. And then you should continue at Tagibor. That's what's brought down in the Hilchot Olam and the Yalkut Yosef. Okay? So he says, Katvu Acharoni Mizman Hazeh nowadays. Okay, nowadays. En Chozrim Mishum Chazar. We do not go back because of Chisron Kavanah. Why? Because maybe in the Chazarah, again, you're not going to have Kavanah. Then it becomes even worse. You understand? That means if you come and you didn't have Kavanah the second time around, it makes it even worse. Because then, Kilu, I gave you a second chance, and then you made it even worse. So don't go back. You see, the Ben Ish Chai is bringing down Reb Chaim Volozhin. Right? The Gaon Marach Volozhin Natan Etzah Lechol Adam Sheitzei B'Datot Surat Otiyot. That a person should always mark out in his mind the Otiyot Shemotzi Mipiv. Because remember, you're doing it with your eyes closed. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do a lot of things with their eyes closed. Yeah, and then, right, he says, and then it's going to be forced that the kavanah is going to be shlema, right? Right, the words of a chacham is always graceful. But if you're going to pray with the tzibur, you're going to take a long time. But you could do it in the first beracha for sure. At least the first three berachot, or at least in the first beracha, you should do such a thing. Because remember, their inyan was you're doing it with your eyes closed. So if you're doing it with your eyes closed and you're forming the letters in your mind, you know, it's very, very special. Okay? Halacha vav. You have to bow down twice. Right? 2 kriyot and 2 skifot, and 2 times that you're going to go up. Kate said, how do you do it? When you bow and you come up. When you do Baruch, you go down, right? Kriyat guf bilvad, only your body. This is the difference between Ashkenazim and Sfaradim. Remember Ashkenazim, the Magen Avraham brings out that you do your bend the knees. We don't do the knees, we do the body. You do your head. Okay? So that's 2 kriyot. When you say the name of Hashem, you go up twice. First, you do the body by itself. Right, so you do first body, head. Then you do body, head.
We don't do the head.
No,
right?
1 minute. Then you do the head again. I mean, the way that you camped, that's how you're going to travel. So the same thing. The way you went down, how did you go down? Right? Baruch, Ata. You bend the head. So Hashem, 1, 2. The way you went down is the way that you go up. Okay? ולכן, אמר רב הגמרא, that's what the Gemara says, כל הקורא קורא בברוך, כל זקזוק בשם, דנקים לשונות האור, לשון כפל בקריאות וגם זקות. That's why it says both. It says קורא בברוך, וכל זקף. Why does it say כפול בקריאות and also כפול by זקיפות? So he says, זה לא אמר יכרע בברוך וזוקף בשם. He says, he doesn't say יכרע. He says קורא. Right? כנזכר בשאר הכוונות. So when you're bowing, it should be that, you know, the back, the spinal cord, you feel it. It's sticking out. That you can't do it too much. Okay, so even just doing with the head is going to be enough. And also the vav of ve'hanora. That means all these different letters that you're adding, there's a lot of kavanot in them. Then the person is occupied. Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov. What's a big deal? No, Velokei Yaakov. Right? He says, "Why you want everything on the records?"
That's why we're studying.
Iowa. V'tzarich hamitpalel. They want everything on a golden platter here. V'tzarich mitpalel leotziam etev befiv shelo yubala echad mehem מחמת המילוס. You have to be very careful to pronounce them, so you're not going to swallow them. אבל זה נאמר להגיד, באות אחת קלה כתיבה אחת חמורה. Right? He says you have to be careful with אות אחת קלה, right? כתיבה אחת חמורה. I mean, just like, with one letter, it's just like a word. שנתה יודע הסוד של האותיות, but you don't know the סודות of the letters and the words. ואם אל סודם תדרוש, you want them. Yeah? David, you want them?
Yes.
Listen carefully. לך נא ראה קצת מסודם של הכוונות דברי רבנו אליזא וסידור הרשש. Go look at them. Look for them. I'm not going to give you everything on a golden platter. Go look for them.
So the kavanot are from the Arizal.
The Arizal and the Rashash. Okay? חטא. מה שכתוב קונה הכל. לפי פירוש רש"י בפסוק קונה שמיים וארץ אומנו כאן קונה הכל. The fact that it says קונה הכל, that's from the pasuk that it says קונה שמיים וארץ. רוצה לומר עושה הכל. That he's doing everything. לפי דברי התרגום ורמב"ן שם בירא קונה הכל רוצה לומר קניינו הכל, which means everything is his. הכל שלו. Meaning there's a whole machloket. Doesn't mean that he's making everything, which that's koneh hakol. He's forming everything. He's making everything. Or koneh hakol means everything is his. He has the kinyan on everything, meaning everything belongs to him. Ma shekatuv, that which is written. So two different explanations, okay? Ma shekatuv v'lecha tet, that which is written, gomel chasadim tovim, לפי פשוטו מובן שהוא לשון גומל, גומל, אך מה שלם בספר הכוונות בטבע גומל, נזכר הוא עניין הוצאה וגילוי. So really באמת, גומל, I thought it's to give over something. When you do gemilut chasadim, you're gomel, you're giving something. Or ligmol, right? Ligmol, gemilah is to remove someone from the person has an addiction. Or even ligmol is, nursing, gemilah. So he says, right, v'gilui. Here he says, maybe gomel is be'emel lashon gilui, revealing. פירוש מוציא וממציא ומגדל ומתקן את האורות הנקראים חסדים טובים. So you're revealing this. ומגלה אותם להשפיע. וחסדים טובים אלו הם סוד מה שאמרו חסדי דוד הנאמנים. נקראים טובים, why are they called טובים? ושהם ממשיכים שבע ליסוד, צדיק עולם, הנקרא טוב, זול צדיק טוב, כנזכר בספר כוונות. מה שכתוב זוכר חסדי אבות, לפי פשוטן של דברים. we're talking about ממש דברים שעומדים ברומו של שמיים. ממש, it's cold. Yeah, he says, מה שכתוב, נכון? מה שכתוב בזוכר חסדי אבות, לפי פשוטן של דברים הוא, שיזכור החסדים שהבטיח בהם את האבות. He's going to remember all the chasadim that he promised the avot. להיטיב להם ולזרם, to do good to them, to the children. זאת אומרת, זה יש פסוק ישעיה. חסדי דוד אומרים, הכוונה כאן, הדרך מה שפירש המצודות בפסוק, זוכרה לחסדי דוד ודך, בדברי הימים. וכן כאן, the same הלכה applies here, שיזכור החסדים שעשו אבות בעולם וזכותם ירחם עלינו, which means, remember what the אבות הקדושים did, and that you, in their merit, you should have mercy on us. והדרך הסוד הוא מה שכתוב, זוכר חסדי אבות, כמובן שלושה אורות, החגת, חצי גבורת תפילת, נמשכים לשלוש הראשונים נקראים אבות, which is, that's why it's called, חגת is called חסדי אבות. זאת אומרת, חסדים נמשכים לשלוש הראשונים הנקראים אבות. ויען וכולם נכללים בחסד, so everything is considered חסד, נקראים כולם של חסדים. נזכר בשל הכוונות, you understand? You had כתר חוכמה בינה, and then you had חסד גבורה תפארת, right? כחב, חגת, נהים. You really not. כחב. כחב, what's כחב? כתר חוכמה בינה. What is חגת? חסד גבורה תפארת. נהים, right? נצח עוד יסוד מלכות. Right? Those are the ספירות. So therefore he's coming in and saying the fathers are the כתר חוכמה בינה. He brings it down many times. Yeah? כתר חוכמה בינה, right? Which is the first ones. Right? And then you have the other ones, okay? מה שכתוב, that which is written, יוד א', הלכה יוד א', right? So that's why the fathers is the כתר חוכמה בינה, and then they are the חסדים which are coming from them. They're getting it from the fathers. מה שכתוב מביא גואל לבני בניהם, he's going to bring a גואל to their children. הכוונה בפשוטן של דברים, והשבטים הם בניהם של אבות. The שבטים are the children of the אבות. וכל ישראל בני שבטים, או בני ישראל, ולכן ישראל נקרא בני בניהם של אבות. ואומרים כן כדי לעורר זכות השבטים גם כן. Therefore we're trying to do this in order to arouse also the זכות of the שבטים of the tribes as well. ולכן לא אמרו מביא גואל לבניהם, לבני בניהם. מה זה בני בניהם? Because it's the children's children. We purposely wanted to bring down the concept of the children's children, like to bring down the שבטים. ועל דרך הסוד, שלוש הראשונות הם אבות לשלושה אמצעיות, which is חגת, חסד גבורה נעים, כי חגת נחשבים בנים לשלושה ראשונות, והשלושה האחרונות נהי, right, that's why I told you, usually when they say נהים, because it includes מלכות, here it's with other מלכות, that's why it says נהי, which is נצח עוד יסוד, נקראים בני בניהם שלושה ראשונות, וכך נזכר בספר הכוונות. י"ב, כשיגיע למילה באהבה, when it says the word באהבה, יכוון למסור נפשו לקידוש השם, ישרה ומים to give over yourself as קידוש השם, כנזכר בכוונות רבנו אריזה, לכן מנהג החסדים שיעריך חזר וחזר הטובה באהבה, meaning באהבה, they take it longer, right? כדי לעורר הכוונה נזכרת, in order to remember these כוונות. וכל אדם ייזהר בזה בכל תפילות בלחש. A person should always pay attention to all the תפילות בלחש, למסור עצמו קידוש השם מצוות באהבה. וכשאומרנו מושיע ומגן, when you say מושיע ומגן, יכוון מצווה מגן, which is actually 3 times El, meaning the numerical value of Aleph Lamed, 31. 31 times 3, right, is going to be 93. So that's magen, right? Because Nun is 50, Mem is 40, so it's 90, and Gimel is 3, so 93. בברכה של אתה גיבור, הלכה י' ג' יכוון ראשי תיבות אתה גיבור לעולם השם, א' ג' ל' א'. וכתב הרב בית דוד ז"ל, מה שכתוב לעולם, זה לומר, yeah, that's one of the names, right? לעולם, רוצה לומר, לא כי בסב אדם של אישה בגבולתו בעת זקנתו, שמשתנה. אבל אתה גיבור לעולם, you are always a גיבור. כי אין זקנה לפניך, אבל לא יהיה בכלל שינוי. There's no שינוי, there's no זקנה. You don't become elderly, you don't become nothing. ומה שאומרים לך זה עניין, why do we mention גשם וטל? נשם ירידת הגשם וטל, יהיה בירור ניצוצי הקדושה מן דומם לצומח. So then we come out from the דומם to the צומח. And the בירור from the ניצוצי הקדושה הם כמו תחיית המתים. So it's the same thing. You're taking away from the דומם to the צומח. You're taking away the inmain to the inanimate objects to the tzomech, the ones that the fruits, the vegetables, the plants. You take rain, right, and you're putting it from the domem, from the clouds, and from all these things, from the water, and you're putting it into the plants and all these things that grow. Okay, so it's a beautiful sort. So he says, just like we learned in Ta'ani, look how great is the day of Geshamim, just like Tchiyat HaMetim, and that's what he also said. Yom HaGeshamim Yeshua Para V'Ravabo, V'lachen Omrim, and therefore we say, Somech Nofelim. What is Somech Nofelim? Keneged Birur Nitzusei HaKedusha Shenaflu B'chai Medaber B'Shivim Umot. Rofei Cholim, what is Rofei Cholim? Keneged Nitzusei HaKedusha Shem B'chai B'lti Medaber, just like by a chai, which he does not speak, right? Umatid, that's an animal, right? Umatid Asuniyim, Keneged Nitzusei HaKedusha Shebetzomeach. Umkayem Emunato D'Shnei Afar, Keneged Nitzusei HaKedushim Shebeddomem. That means basically everything is taking out mitzvot kedusha. ולקח לו הזכירו כאן רק 4 לשונות של שבח, אלו שהם כנגד תצחם, דומם, צומח, חי, מדבר. Each one was a parallel, one of the 4 aspects of the world. מעילה לטאטא, from the top to the bottom, ולא אמרו שהשבחים שפוקח חברים וזקופים ויוצא בזה, כמו שכתבתי כל זה בספרי הקטן, יקבצאל. ובאומרו מחלקל החיים בחסד, יכוון לשם הוויה במילוי יודעין, שעולה מספר חסד, which means when you take Yud Ke Vav Ke and you have them Mimilu Yodin. You know what Mimilu Yodin means? When you're going to fill it up, it's going to have Yods. So then the numerical value, right, will be Chesed. It'll be 6872. Meaning the 72 letter name of Hashem is Yod Ke Vav Ke, that every single time it's always with Yod. So it's Yod Vav Dalet, Hey is Hey Yod, Vav Yod Vav, Hey Yod. When you have it that way, which is Yod Ke Vav Ke, with all the Yods, right? So therefore you have 72. Because if you take the numerical value of everything that I just said, that's going to be the Shem Ayin Bet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu of Shem Havaya. Yud Dalet, Biur Birkat Ata Kadosh Hu, כמו שכתב רבנו מהר"ם אלישיך, ז"ל. כלומר, אתה לבדך קדוש. When you say Ata Kadosh, it means you're the only one that's holy. The Shimcha Miuchad, and your special name, right, designated name, is also holy. The Avabi Shneimar Toar Kodesh, right, Kadosh LaMalachim, right? He comes and he says that even though he's mentioning the Torah Kadosh to the Malachim, Eno Atzmi Ella B'derech Hashala. It's not mamash that's what they're. It's like you're lending it to them. Yanki v'kidashtem and Malachim, because we know when we say Ugdoshim, that's the Malachim. Shenikrim Kedoshim. Hema Yaluch Hazel. They will come and they'll praise you. So it's the Malachim that are praising Hashem. They are called Kedoshim, but they're not Kedoshim be'etzem. It's like Lashon Hashala, right? That's what he's saying. Right? B'sheva Chazeh shel Kadosh Kadosh Kadosh. V'im etzlam Kadosh Toar Atzmi. But if it was an actual name for themselves, Ech Yalelucha beToar shenimtza itam. How are they going to praise you with something which is found by them? Meaning the Malachim, right? Exactly. That means they are themselves are not holy. They are. It's a lashon hashala that they come and they praise you with their holiness. Really, be'emet, you're the holy one. You're the only thing which is 100% holy. Okay, we'll stop here.